On this short video, we are going to use a NewsApi.org to fetch the news and create a fully working Flutter News app with categorized news and a detailed page of the news, and you are not gonna leave the app when you read the whole news from the source. Start by creating models folder and then create articles.dart file. Then inside the file create this model class with the given details like this. Then create this source data model class with the given details like this, and create the factory method from JSON like this. Then inside the articles data model class, create this factory method from JSON with the given details like this. Then under your lib folder, create API folder. Then under the API folder, create news repository.dart file. Then inside the file, create this category enum with the given details like this, and these are the categories of our news. Then create this abstract class in which we are going to fetch all news and fetch news based on their categories. Then under the API folder, create NewsApi.dart file. Then inside the file, import all the necessary packages, and don't forget to add HTTP on your pubspec.yaml file as your dependency and get your package. Then import the http.dart file as HTTP inside this file. Then create this NewsApi class which extends the news repository class which we have created earlier, and create this key API final variable with the given key. And let's see how we are going to get this API key. To get the API keys, go to NewsApi.org and press get the API register. Then you will get your API keys here. Then paste the copied API keys on the key API variable we created. Then override the fetch all news methods of a news repository. Then create this final URL, and at the end give it the key API key variable which we have created with our API key, and create this get request on the given URL. And if the response status code is 200, which means the request was processed successfully, we are going to parse the given response body using JSON decode of the Dart convert. And if the articles of body exists, we assign it to the JSON variable, and we are going to pass the JSON to our from JSON factory method and return the list of the news or the articles. If the response status code is different from 200, we will throw an exception. And again, we are going to override fetch category of news repository class method and pass a category as a parameter, and we are going to create this final URL variable. And on the link on the category part, we are going to give it the category. At the end, we are going to give the key API which we have fetched earlier, and then we are going to run the http.getRequest. Then we are going to check if the response status code is 200, and we are going to pass response body, then return a list of articles. Then under the lib folder, create the pages folder. Then under the pages folder, create homepage.dart file. Then create this homepage stateless widget. Then create this NewsApi object, and on the build method, return a default tab controller. Use 0 as an initial index and give it 5 for the length, and on the child return the scaffold. On the upper, in our case, we give it the Hey Flutter times title, and we added these fonts. To add this font, update your pubspec.yaml file for the fonts, and don't forget to add the fonts to your assets folder. And for the leading, we have used an icon button which we are going to use it in the future for the menu. And on the bottom of our app bar, we passed the tab bar, and these are the list of our tabs. For this, we have created a local method tab detail, and the tab detail method will take the context and the title as a parameter and return the tab with the given title and with the given text style. And so here we are going to use the tab details, and on the body part of the scaffold, we are going to return a tab bar view. And before creating the children's, so first let's create this widget, an image container widget with the given details, and we'll return a container and create the fetch news widget with the given feature record variable. And on the build method, return the feature builder and pass the feature variable which we have created earlier. And inside the builder, if the snapshot status connection is waiting, we are going to return the circular progress indicator, and if there is a data, we are going to return a scaffold. And on the body properties of the scaffold, we are going to return a list view. Inside the list view, we will return an inkwell, and we will create an arrow as a child. We will pass an image container with the given path, width and height, and the margin, and we will pass the news index.the URL image to the image URL of an image container widget. We created an expanded widget, and as a child, we passed a column, and inside the column as a title, we created a text widget, and we passed the news index.title as a text and with the given style, and we created an icon source, then a text widget with the source name, and then an expanded then text widget, and we passed the author name. And on the top property of an inkwell, we used a navigator.push, then material page route, then we passed the news index to an article page, a page which we are going to create right now. Under the pages folder, create article page.dart file. Then create the articles page stateless widget, and on the build method, return an image container, a widget which we have created earlier. Here we have passed an image to the image URL property of the image container, and on the child we passed a scaffold widget. For the scaffold and the up bar, we have used the transparent background color. We have defined an icon theme data color which will be applied for the back button, and when we change this property to true, then the height of the body is extended to include the height of the up bar, and the top of the body is aligned with the top of the up bar. Then on the body we will use the list view. Then here we are going to create this UI. For this we have created this custom tag widget which will take a container with the past background color and a row of the past widgets, and here we will use our custom tag widget with the background color, and in our case we only passed one text widget with the article source name, and then we will create two text widgets for the article title and for the description, and then create this container widget with the given padding and the decorations. And on the child we used the column, and here we used our custom tag widget which we have created earlier. We used a background color of black, and for the list of children we use a circle avatar with the article image and a text widget with the article author. Then next we have used a text widget for the article title and defined its style, and then again a text widget for the article content and defined its style. And here we have used an outlined button and defined its style like this. And on the onPressed property we have used a launch URL where you have to add a URL launcher on your pubspec.yaml file, and we have passed the article URL, and on the mode we have used in-app web view. This means it is going to open the URL inside our app. And finally let's run our app. Here as you can see, these are our categories which are health, technology, science and top headlines. These are based on the categories, and let's tap on one news. As you can see, this is the news with the title with the image. To read the news, press this read news, which is going to be opened inside the app. So you can navigate from this app, or you can get back to the list of the news and you can see or open any news from here.